الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسوله الكريم أما بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فلولا نفر من كل فرقة منهم طائفة ليتفقهوا في الدين ولينذروا قومهم إذا رجعوا إليهم لعلهم يحذرون صدق الله العظيم. Honorable President, respected teachers and my dear friends, today I would like to talk with you on the topic usefulness of madaris. My dear friends, the words that I have recited before you clarifies that since it is not practically possible for all Muslims to acquire religious education, there should be at least a group of dedicated Muslims who do take it up. They should move abroad and gaining deeper understanding of faith at the feet of ulama in various towns and cities. And on the return, they should prepare their fellow Muslims better to meet the challenges Islam presents. My dear friends, this is exactly the main role of madrasa. And these madaris are connected with the madrasa of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, madrasatul Suffa, and that is connected with the madrasa Dar Arqam, and that is connected with the madrasa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, which was under the arsh, where Adam alayhi salatu wassalam was taught everything. As Quran says in the Holy Quran, وَعَلَّمَ آدَمَ الْأَسْمَاءَ كُلَّهَا. And if these madaris are not connected with those madaris, or their ideologies are not connected with those madaris, they are not madaris in reality, and we don't call them madaris. So, if someone would ask me whether the Quran mentions madrasa, its role and responsibility, the answer would be in affirmative. Although the Quran does not pointedly employ the expression madrasa, what it says is fully applicable to madrasa, its need, relevance and duty. At the outset, it is acknowledged that all Muslims can't go and study, for it is neither easy nor physically possible. Allah says in the Holy Quran, وَمَا كَانَ الْمُؤْمِنُونَ لِيَنْفِرُوا كَافَّةً. It would amount to turning a blind eye to ground realities if all Muslims were charged with this duty. Dear friends, it is impossible to expect that everyone could join the madrasa and as a student furthermore. Allah does not demand of believers something which is impossible or impractical. Allah, being man's creator, is fully conservative with his limitations. Allah has placed some shortcomings as innate in human nature. However, the Quran insists that some Muslims from each locality should dedicate themselves to this task of gaining religious knowledge. Some members from each locality, each profession, each country and each town should make the pursuit of religious education their lifelong mission. They should develop a broad and deep understanding of faith. Gaining insight into faith is a huge task. The Quran uses an actual tafaqquh in this context, لِيَتَفَقَّهُوا فِي الدِّينِ. Have a broad view of faith and be able to relate their faith to the changing times. The basic principle of faith being eternal and do not undergo any alteration. So my dear friends, the main role of madaris to maintain and deliver this message. They should ensure that faith is preserved in its purity. Faith should be the same as it was professed and practiced by the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the rightly guided caliphs and the early Muslims. Faith has been followed consistently. Those actively associated with the madrasa should not, however, disregard changing times altogether. They should make the most of the new opportunities and make as much allowance as is possible for the new situations. Faith should be maintained, and at the same time, it should provide intellectual leadership. Pious scholars should carefully evaluate new developments and appreciate new demands. And they should meet these demands while adhering to the faith and the Sharia. In this lies the meaning and scope of tafaqquh. The next stage in this direction is of ijtihad. which calls for specialized qualification. In establishing, managing and orienting the madrasa, these points should be taken into account. All praise be to Allah, adjunct and adjunct, and both outwardly and inwardly. Thank you so much and have a nice day. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.